Hey guys, in this video we're making beaded straps for a phone case. These are really simple to make. You can make them as long or short as you like. I like to make two different lengths. This one here is the longer, sort of make your phone into a crossbody bag situation. They've all got two clips on them, and I also like making the shorter length so you can pop it over your hand onto your wrist and just hold your phone there. Super simple to make a range of different colours and lengths, and you can swap them on and off easily. Now you will need a phone case for your type of phone with these little loops on the bottom here. So search for your type of phone case with loops or phone case with ring holes. We also need two clips for each strap. I try and find these rounded ones, so they're much better than these ones here that have like a flat end on them. They just don't sit right, so try and get rounded ones. We are using crimp beads in our design today, so I've got these crimp bead pliers. They're a little bit hard to see, but I'm using 2mm crimp beads, and our crimping pliers have these little grooves in them that we sit the crimp beads in to tighten them. You can use pliers if you don't have crimp pliers. For our design today, we're using tiger tail wire, which is a beading wire. It's really flexible and strong. Ours is 0.5mm thick, and we cut a length of 55 centimeters for one of the short straps or 120 centimeters for the crossbody strap. I like to just pop a clip or peg on the end of my wire so I don't lose the beads off the end. Now we can go ahead and place all of our beads on. I normally bead down about 35 centimeters for the shorter length and about 100 to 110 for the longer ones, but just pop your beads on and then try it out for size. You do need to leave a little bit of length on both ends, about 5 centimeters of wire. You can see I'm beading down to about 35 centimeters here, and then there's enough room for a little bit of wire on both ends. Now, once you're happy with the length, remembering it's going to have the clips on as well, so it will be a little bit longer than this beaded section. Now we can go ahead and place our crimp beads on and our little clips as well. So I like to use 2 crimp beads on each end. I just feel it makes it nice and strong. So placing my 2 crimp beads on, then placing our little clip on as well. Then bending the end of our wire around and placing it down both crimp beads again. So we're gently sliding that tiger tail wire around and through those crimp beads. We want to slide the crimp beads along the wire a little bit to make that loop a bit smaller. I still like our clip to have a little bit of movement on the end there. So not too tight, but not too loose either. Now making sure your wires are sitting next to each other inside the crimp bead, and then crimping tight on our pliers, just crimping one crimp bead at a time. That makes a really nice strong connection on our wires. Now I slide the beads up and actually slide the end of the tiger tail inside the beads. After a couple of beads you can cut that tail off, and that keeps that end hidden under those first few beads. So just make sure those beads are slid down covering the end of tiger tail before we start on the other end. So swapping onto this other end now, taking the clip off. Now placing another 2 crimp beads on this end of the wire. So 2 crimp beads on, then our little clip. And then bending the end of our wire around. Might just shorten this a little bit. So bending our wire around the end and then placing it back down both crimp beads. This end can be a little bit trickier than the other end because we're going to try and pull it all tight and together. Just work with your wire slowly so that you can work it through those crimp beads. I find it's easiest to sort of grab one side of the wire here and gently work that loop of wire down and around. We are going to work it down through a couple of the beads as well so that we can tuck that tail in underneath. However, you can get that wire coming down through the crimp beads and then through some of the beads as well. pulling it down so that you've got a nice small loop on the end. You want this loop matching the other end as well, so about the same size. And you don't want these beads to be locked in super tight or they won't have much movement. So a little bit of movement is good so that it can curve around. Once you're happy with that loop, then crimp these crimp beads down nice and tight, one at a time, making sure those wires are sitting next to each other and you've got a nice strong connection. Now we can cut this end of tiger tail wire off. I'm going to just tuck it underneath that second bead, but as long as it's coming under at least one bead, then that will keep it hidden. So there's your beautiful beaded phone strap. You can clip it onto your case now and easily swap them on and off.